Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I want us to go through online jobs, and especially Neevo, because I know most of us are struggling trying to make a living from the pandemic, from the difficult times that everyone is facing. And Neevo has been closing people's accounts, and today I want us to look at tricks on how to beat AI, to beat their technology, in order for so that you can have multiple accounts, or even have your account and you're not maybe in one of those West Africa countries. So following the mass wave of account suspensions that came without warning, many taskers lost actually their lucrative sources of income, in addition to money that was not paid for tasks done. We are going to try and look at the questions of, and probably come up with a way to cheat the system, which is actually automated, to close accounts which actually demand to operate contrary to the website policy. So as we all know, or as you may know, the Neevo.ai is a subsidiary company of Defined Crowd, which was rebranded to Defined AI. So when you open an account as per its terms and conditions, which you can easily find on their website, and there are too many, I don't think you can, the times of use are here, you can read, you can go through. So every time it's clear that every time you open an account as per its time and condition, sometimes have to be violated. For example, most of us would like to have multiple accounts because the jobs that come in are small and you want to make an extra source of income. You want to make the most out of the opportunity. And we realize for a fact that most of us are at par with advanced technologies, that we are sharp, we are easily trainable, we are capable to handle everything. And actually, these companies, for example, Neevo, they want people from the Western countries to work, for example, in America, in the UK, in Canada, or those countries, or the Scandinavian countries, to work. But they don't know that it is actually us, especially those of us that are in Africa, that make most contributions to the growth of AI, because we have the time. So if you want, you can go through the terms and conditions and maybe get to understand them and get to know why your accounts have been violated. But that is not why we are here today. So we are going to look, I'm going to show you a small presentation on how to beat AI on Neevo. So some of the most violated policies on Neevo that lead to a closure of accounts is that they want you to be a native of that particular country that you want to work on. For example, if you say you are fluent in English in the US, they want you to be located in the US. They want you to be a native citizen of the US. That's why they give you actually those tests, like the listening and the writing tests. So they want you either to be a native of the US or that particular country. If it is Japan, you are a native of Japan and you live there, and for them to allow you to do their jobs. And so the question is, how can you have accounts to show that you're indeed a native and a citizen and currently living there? That is one thing that most of us have been trying to do, and I know we've been using VPNs and all that. We'll look at that later. Another policy is that you should not have multiple accounts on Neevo. And you know, one account maybe giving you like $10 is not enough. You need to, most of us, is understandable that we want to have like 10 accounts, so that if you're given $10 per account, you're paid a job $10 per account, you have $100. So the question is, how can you have multiple accounts without raising suspicion to the system, and the system cannot shut you down? The other policy is that you should do your job you yourself. Do the job you yourself. So do not use bots. And most of us are guilty of using the auto clicker, which is actually a bot. So the solution to this one, we are not going to have any other solution other than just do the task yourself and deactivate the robots. That way you minimize the chances of having your accounts closed. Now, let us look at how to have accounts that show that you are a citizen of that particular country. For example, you want to work on a job that is US based. So you are living in Africa and you want to show that your account is for a citizen that lives in the US, or you're actually located in the US. So one of the things that most of us use is the VPN, the virtual private network. And I know most of us use Surfshark. So I'm assuming that if you have worked on Neevo lately, VPN is nothing new to you. It is not something that we will now start teaching you. This is VPN, this is how it works. So as you might know, on a virtual private network, a proxy will by default tell the destination the IP address of the original requester by adding an X forwarded to the HTTP header to the original HTTP request. This makes it obviously easy for the server not only to know that you are using a proxy, but also to know that your actual IP address, effectively dropping your anonymity. So what this statement means is that it is very easy when you request. So the requester here is you. When you go to the Neevo account, you are requesting to access their server. So when they just add an X on your request from your end, they will easily know where you are located. So the best way is to ensure that you beat that system and that your VPN is not detected. Number one, do not claim that you are using one. So use an anonymous proxy. Secondly, turn off all advanced plugins like Flash, Java, which could bypass your proxy settings and reveal your genuine address to the remote server. Actually, what I recommend is to turn them off in all cases as a sanity measure, but we will cover this in another subject. Secondly, set up your own private proxy servers on some of the VPS provider. We'll show you that, such as private proxy server the private proxy server will have a very low requirement in terms of CPU, that is memory usage, and so it is going to be very cheap. Number three, if you want to hide your identity and not only your IP address, take care of anything that could link you with any hosting or proxy services that you could rent. For example, payment systems, the email addresses, the IP used to fetch emails and all that. So actually, basically here, what you want to do is when you want to open a new Neevo account, make sure once you've set up your VPN, your email from the email that you're going to use to open the Neevo account, it should be on that particular VPN so that you hide your identity. Continuing on the best ways to ensure that your proxy is not detected or your VPN is not detected, you need to change the time zone of your computer to match the VPN. So for example, the VPN that you are using, let me see if I can find one here. Let me see if I can find a location. This one says that I'm in the United States. I know Surfshark has specific locations. For example, in the United States, it can say that you are in Denver or Colorado. So you go to Google, you look up the time zone of Denver and Colorado, which is UTC 6 hours. Then you come to your time settings, and then you change your time settings. You adjust your time and date to match that of the VPN that you are using. So you come to here, then look for UTC -6, which is somewhere here, and then you set that so that it will match the time of the VPN, making it difficult for Neevo to find out what you've been doing. I mean that you are using VPN. Another thing is that Neevo sites use cookies, which are stored in your system every time you visit their websites. So these cookies actually is one that will tell the company your true locations. The best way to use this is to browse or go incognito mode, especially if you are using Google Chrome. That is one way of booting. So in addition to the cookies, there is also another secure element that gives the website permissions to your location. So by default, your browser is set to allow and share location. For example, if you are using Google Chrome, there is this padlock here. You can click there and then you look at the site settings. So under privacy and security, you can see your location. Mine I've set as block, I've not allowed. So your location mostly is ask, that is the default setting, or allow. So you come here and block and save your settings so that Neevo will not be able to access your location. Again, you're looking at, now let's look at how to safely have multiple accounts. So after you set up your VPN and you're now starting to create accounts, you can see maybe if you have an extra computer, an extra phone, but now that will become a challenge when you're talking about 100 phones, your 100 accounts. You cannot have 100 computers, you cannot have 100 phones. So what you do is try to work from different browsers if you can, different networks and different machines. That is if you can manage to keep up. But if you can't, you can create a virtual machine. So currently I have 4 machines in my laptop. So what you do is that you use software called Oracle VM, which is a virtual box. And the limit of the machines you can create, of course, it's determined by how good your machine is, how fast your machine is. So you follow these steps. Number 1, after you've installed the Windows, either Windows 7, Windows 8, 8.1, 10, Ubuntu, or the Mac operating system, depending on what virtual machine you want, you get the image file of the Windows. I will show this in another tutorial which is more detailed. Get the image file, then you make sure that your machine has what it takes for the virtual technology, because in terms of speed, in terms of the RAM, in terms of the processor and all that. Then you prepare your computer to host a virtual machine by installing the downloading the Oracle VM virtual box. So you download that in your machine if your machine is capable. Then you install your virtual machine from the image files in the setup. So remember, this setup is the ones that you've gotten from either of these operating systems we've talked about. And you go to your computer you go to local disk C, then you go to Windows. So this is where you look for those files for them. You go for the image file of the Windows, so that it can help you download a virtual machine that you desire. So after you've done that, you install your virtual machine from the image files in the setup and make necessary settings, and you're good to go. But as we finish, also remember that when you open an account, and this one came up from our discussions in the WhatsApp sites that we have, WhatsApp groups that we have. If you open multiple accounts at once, Neevo will know. So open spread your accounts. Don't open 50 accounts maybe in a single day from the same machine. Don't open 20 accounts. Just open an account a day, or 2 or 3 a week, so that they don't get to track you and know where you are, and close all your accounts. And sometimes it's hectic to open an account. Thank you guys, that is it for today. We are going to upload more tutorials, more tricks on how to beat Neevo.ai, because we all want to be paid. I'm a CEO. So thank you. Please subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to this channel. Share with your friends. Share with your networks. Tell them we are doing something here. Leave questions at the comment section. Leave suggestions, and we are going to look at them together. We are going to work. If you have any other video, leave a link on the comment box. Let people know. It is good to share. Let us help each other, because truth be told, these AI companies are making more than they are paying. Thank you so much, guys. Please share, subscribe, click on the naughty gang, so that when I upload a video, it can notify you and you can know immediately. Goodbye. Have a good day.